their goals and develop confidence one mind shift habit at a time. Let's join our host, certified coach Christina.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Coach. I am your host, certified mindset and confidence coach, Christina Calloway. I help athletes, parents, and coaches develop the confidence they need to achieve their goals, one mindset shift habit at a time. Did you know today is National Doctors Day? Yes, it's a little known fact that on March 30th, 1933, the first National Doctors Day was celebrated. The initial celebration included mailing greeting cards to doctors and placing flowers on the graves of deceased doctors. On this day, we thank our physicians for all they do for us and our loved ones. While we enjoy our well visits to our family doctors and love when we receive a clean bill of health, what would you do if you went to see your physician about a nagging pain, only for him or her to diagnose you with your biggest fear? Cancer. On this episode, my guest shares with us her triumphant story of how she moved beyond her diagnosis. Joining me is my really good friend, Samantha Hines. She is a mother, a wife, and a working professional. In 2018, her life changed from what she had known it to be. After working in her yard, she noticed her back was hurting her a little longer than usual. So she decided she would go to her chiropractor for an adjustment. And several days after the adjustment, her pain was not better, but rather worse. So she got x-rays and they determined she had multiple myeloma. That's a rare blood cancer. I'm going to ask you to help me welcome Samantha, and she's going to help us learn more about how she moved beyond her diagnosis. Hey, Sam.
Good afternoon, Tina.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good for it to be a Wednesday. I'm doing really good. Glad we made it to the middle of the week. How about you?
Yeah, happy hump day.
Yes, as they say, happy hump day. I'm so glad to have you have you join Conversations with Coach. It's an honor to have you here.
And it's an honor to be here.
Great. So as I shared a little bit of your story with the listening audience, I would like for you to share a little bit more about multiple myeloma. And because when we hear the word cancer, that big C word, we all kind of tense up and we get so nervous about that. And it scares us, as I'm sure it did you when you learned about you having it in 2018. So tell us a little bit more about what it is that you were diagnosed with.
Well, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. As you stated, it's a rare blood cancer. And when I was told that I had multiple myeloma, number one, I didn't know what it was. I was only familiar with leukemia because that's the most common blood cancer. And my primary care physician is the one that gave me my diagnosis. And he said, you have it, but it won't kill you. And somehow I found comfort in that. And so I was diagnosed with stage 3 multiple myeloma. And the myeloma had also damaged my kidneys. So the next day, I was actually admitted to the hospital because I have stage 3 kidney disease as well. And so I received fluids versus getting dialysis temporarily because I didn't want to take a chance playing with that. And my kidneys bloom like a flower. And that's really just on the back burner for me right now. I'm on my 7th chemo in the past 3.5 years, currently in remission, feeling lovely.
Looking lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
well,
I mean, when I found out, I came home and I Googled stage 3 multiple myeloma. The
mhm.
life expectancy on Google is 2 years. So I just burst into tears. I was like, my son is in high school. I want to see him graduate. I want to see him get married. Me and my husband have a bucket list. I want to go here. I want to go there. It was an emotional time for me.
Mhm.
But, after doing more research, I'm a member of a multiple myeloma support group. Just sharing my trials with other patients is also it's a relief and it's helpful. And of
Mhm.
course, 4 years later, Google is incorrect because I'm past the 2-year mark.
There
So
you
it's not a death sentence, but it is a challenge.
It is a challenge. It's not a death sentence. It is a challenge. So, for all of you all who are listening, and those of you who are listening to the replay, I want you to hear what Sam just said about Google. Google is wrong. So, for those of you all who get all of your information from Google and you hang your hat on everything that Google has to say about anything, Google's not always right.
Mm-mm.
And if you have received a diagnosis from the doctors about anything, don't go and sit down and do woe is me and get your mindset set. Well, Google says this, so this is how it has to be for me. It only has to be for you if that's what you are going to settle for. She had the mindset of I'm going to see my son graduate. My husband and I have a bucket list of things that we are planning on doing, and we are going to do that. And that was just not going to be her lot. And let's talk about, so that was the diagnosis. And as you have just shared with us, that was 4 years ago. And you say on your 7th chemo. And
Yep.
so tell us a little bit about how that works and how many more you have, or is that just explain
Well,
a little bit more about the treatment?
currently, there is no cure for multiple myeloma. So, in order to keep your numbers at remission level, chemo is required. Now, I've been on a chemo that had me in remission, and the cancer is smart and it can work around that chemo. So, I was in remission for months, and then my numbers started to creep up. So, I got on a different chemo that had me in remission for a minute. Remission is like a bad love affair, up and down, in and out. I've had a couple of chemos that I've had, bad side effects. One of them, I broke out all over my body. One of them, I got severely dehydrated because I couldn't hold anything down.
Mm,
So you just have to do research. When they give you a little insert, read it, be aware of what the side effects are, and then get a second opinion. I have two oncologists. I have an oncologist at the University Blood and Cancer Center that treats all types of cancers. I
mhm,
also have an oncologist at Emory that's a multiple myeloma specialist. And
mm.
they go back and forth and cooperate, and I'm in the middle. They might suggest one thing, and no, I'm not going to do that. I do a lot of herbal remedies aside from the chemo. I do moringa, I do spirulina, chlorella, sarsaparilla, soursop, black seed oil. I have an arsenal of herbs that I take. on my own. So,
Excellent.
you have to take your health in your own hands. People have to be aware. Medicine, doctors, that's a practice.
I love that you said that. You have just laid out so many little nuggets right here in front of me, and I'm going to pick them up and we're going to talk a little bit about it. I love how you said that you, in terms of getting the second opinion, and I read an article recently, and it was definitely dealing with what it is that you have when it comes to that diagnosis, that in the Black community there is a hesitation to go and get a second opinion. Why is that?
And I have no idea. I'm not sure if it's just the lack of knowledge, maybe the lack of finances, perhaps the lack of insurance. Because I have insurance. I have double insurance. I have my own and I'm on my husband's, but yet they don't pay for everything. There are a lot of expenses incurred just having cancer.
Oh my goodness. Now, is there, in terms of the multiple myeloma, is it hereditary with anyone else in your family with it?
Nope. It is not hereditary. No one else in my family has it. But I have learned that it affects the Black population way more than any other ethnicity.
Wow.
So it's the Black folks' blood cancer, really.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And how did you come about? So as I read in your bio, that you have been working out in the yard and you were just a little bit more sore than you had been. And so you thought, this is,
Yeah, we're just being bent over, digging, digging, digging. Every summer, I love to play in the dirt. We're from the same hometown, so
we are.
I like to play in the dirt. So
Yes, we do.
my back was tight, and I went up to the joint, the little chiropractor where you get an adjustment for $29. I've done it many times before,
Mm-hmm.
and this particular time, I left with numerous rib fractures. Now, I went around the corner to urgent care, and I guess their equipment wasn't high tech enough to pick up all the fractures that I had going on because they told me I had one rib that was broken. So, the next couple of days, my whole girth was just radiating with pain. So my PCP sent me for a CT scan,
Mm-hmm.
which was more in depth. And after 18, he just stopped counting. He said your rib cage looks like a windshield. Some of my ribs were broke in 2, 3, 4 places. I mean, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk loud, sneeze, cough. It was unbearable.
Oh.
And then, after being hit with that diagnosis, and then came the bone marrow biopsy. At that point, they determine what stage of myeloma that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And that procedure entails lying on your stomach, which I had to balance on my elbows because all of my ribs were broken. Now,
Right.
they numb your tailbone topically with lidocaine,
Okay.
but yet they drill through your hip bone to extract the marrow.
Mm-hmm.
Now going in, the tapping with the hammer
Mm-hmm.
but the actual extraction with the syringe was probably up there in pain level with the broken ribs.
Mm-hmm.
So, despite all that, I'm still here, and God is so good.
God is good.
You
As
know,
you were describing about how they did the extraction from your bone marrow, I'm aware of that extraction process because I am actually on the bone marrow donor.
sweet.
I am, and I've been waiting for years to see if I could be a match to someone. And part of becoming on the bone marrow donor list, you have to watch that video, because the exact way that they went in to extract, that's what they would do. If I were to become a match for someone, that is how they would extract it out of me to put into someone else. So for anyone else who is out there that is interested in possibly becoming a bone marrow donor, then just know they're out there, they're needed, and you could actually help save someone's life. And that's going to bring me to a question before we go to the next topic. Does bone marrow donation, does that help you would that help you?
It would not. I mean, that's how they determine your stage. You know, your bone marrow is inside your bone, which is where your blood is produced. So that's how they determine your stage. But no, I would need all new blood. I mean, it's in my blood. It's flowing through my body. And that also makes your bones weak. Now,
Yes.
in 2020, I fractured my spine.
Oh.
And I had a procedure called Cytoplasty, where they actually put cement in my back. But guess what? I still do the same things.
But God.
All God.
There you go.
Please no.
Please no. So now we are after the diagnosis. And you mentioned all the herbs and everything, in addition to what the practice of medicine is doing. You are like, I've got to take things into my own hands so that I can still be functioning in this life. Tell us how that looks for you right now, and what all you do in addition to the herbs and everything.
And exercise and live my life, my best life. You know, I did change my eating habits because really I'm basically pescatarian. I eat fish, a whole lot of salads, of course, but you know, every blue moon, if I want a burger, I'll have one. But just if you were to come to my house right now and look at my freezer, all you see is crab legs, shrimp, ahi, salmon, and a truckload of vegetables.
Yes.
So, you know, I juice, I do my herbs, I exercise. So, you know, cancer is in the back seat. It doesn't ride up front,
I
you
love
know.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. We're gonna end up putting cancer in the trunk. Actually, we're gonna drag it.
Truly.
Drag it.
Mhm,
It's gonna get drugged. We're not even gonna have it inside the vehicle.
mhm.
So I know that you, in terms of how you are caring for yourself, it inspired you to do something because you were having a very difficult time being, because you mentioned salads, and that's where you and I are kissing cousins, because I love salads. And it inspired you to do something because you couldn't find salad dressings.
That is correct.
Tell us about that.
Yep. I incorporated more salads daily. And when I went to the store, I pick up these brands and I turn the bottle over. It's very important to read the back. If there are more than 17 letters and you have to sound it out and you still don't know what you're saying, then you don't know what you're putting in your body. So at that point, I decided to make my own salad dressings. Real ingredients, real flavor. You could pronounce every ingredient on the bottle, including love, because I put love in the bottle.
Yes, you do.
I really do. And for those who are familiar with black seed oil, black seed, scientific name, the Nigella sativa, it's a inflammation fighter, cancer fighter, good for your skin, hair, nails, the list goes on. I put that in every bottle.
Yes,
So it's nutritious and delicious.
it is. It is. All I can I am a very pleased customer. I can tell
Yes, you are faithful, and I appreciate it.
you. I was asking you before we came on, did you make some salad dressing
Yeah,
today?
yeah.
Because I had a salad today and I'm like, I'm almost out. Like, oh my gosh, I got to order me some more. So talk to us about Sammy Girls Country Kitchen.
Yep, well, Girls Country-Kitchen was born, like I said, due to the fact I couldn't find any healthy salad dressings in the stores. So I started on Instagram, and then I got a couple of farmers market gigs, which is where I am right now. And I get a great response. Customers are loving my products. I recently completed a course at UGA with the Small Business Development Group. I have my business plan complete, and my future goal is to be on store shelves. But right now, I'm rock and rolling at farmers markets. I am networking, meeting some amazing people that have become amazing customers, and it's just a blessing, truly a blessing.
It is definitely a blessing. And as I was highlighting some of the comments, some of your faithful customers are definitely on here.
Yep,
And
I see him.
so I know,
Hey,
and some people are going to be disappointed to hear this. Right now, she is only, are you still only selling in the local area, like to Athens, or do you ship outside?
I am actually shipping outside now.
Yes. So you all are in luck because I was like, this is gonna be some mad people on here tonight
Yeah,
if I have to tell them that they can't get it, but we'll figure it out.
yeah.
But you all, do you have a bottle that you can show?
Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay, because I can't show mine, they're empty.
Okay, hold on. My
Okay.
spouse is going to run and
I was
get it
gonna
for
say,
me so
I know I
I
know
can
he's
schedule.
around. And
Yeah, he is.
he's going to be able to get it. So
Yeah.
here's a little while we're waiting on that. Here's a little known secret is, and somebody wants to say, "Hey, beautiful" to you. So I want to make sure you get to see that.
Hey, Penny.
So a little known fact here, Sam and I are high school classmates. And so I am super proud of her. I'm so excited that she has agreed to be on Conversation so that I can just share her story and just share the love for the salad dressing. I am not kidding you. I have to order it for myself and for my mom. It is so good. And she has just a whole line of flavors and the packaging. Like when you order hers, yes. And the one that's my favorite
This
one.
is yours right here,
That's mine.
Celestial Citrus.
Yes.
And this is one of my new ones, Blackberry Papaya. And my other new one is the jalapeno lime with crushed red peppers. They're all on the link on Instagram. I have 10 flavors now.
You're up
So
to
yeah,
10?
yeah.
Oh my
Actually
God.
12 if because I had two fall flavors, the apple crisp and the pumpkin spice, but that's only for the month of November.
Oh man. So now she's getting into seasonals. You have to. You know how I do it. You know that I do the call to action. So just hold your horses. I'm going to give you all the information on how you can order from Sam. I call her Sam. Yes,
Yeah,
her.
well we grew up together
So
and I'm
yes,
Sammy girl. But
yes.
one point I do want to make is on the back of the bottle, not really sure if you can see that. That is the
Ma'am.
International Myeloma Foundation. 1% of all of my sales go to the International Myeloma Foundation. So I am determined to find a cure for blood cancer for me and everybody worldwide. That's
So
my goal.
so
We're going
you're
to
not
cure this thing
only
and eat good salad dressing.
Exactly. So you're not only supporting a small business owner, you are also becoming a part of a community that is going to help find the cure for what they say right now is an incurable disease, but we are speaking this into existence, that we are going to help Sam find a cure for herself as well as for all the other people who have multiple myeloma. So every time you make a purchase, 1% of her sales is going to this foundation. So just know that it's not just about the business for her, but it's about finding a cure, and you're going to be a part of that. Here's another thing. Not only is it good salad dressing, but it's good marinade for your meats, for your fish, for it is just, I can't say enough about it. And I don't endorse a lot of things, but I am the endorser for this one because she knows when I order, as I was saying before, the box that it comes in, the packaging, everything is with love. And you could see the packaging that when she held up the bottles, she has the little hearts on it. But even when you open up the packaging, it is so professional. She takes great care in making sure that the bottles are not going to get broken, because we know that the people that deliver it may not deliver it with the love that she packages it with, but she's going to make sure that when it gets to you, that it is still protected. And here's a question for you, Sam. Can you see that?
Yes. Hi, Joseph. Well, due to the fact there are no artificial ingredients or preservatives of any sort, your shelf life is 4 months. But once you open it and put it in the fridge, it's good for another 3 to 4 months. But the shelf life before opening, 4 months. And I stamped the bottles as well.
Excellent questions. If you all have any other questions that you want to ask Sam before I do the call to action, go ahead and put it in the chat. And even while I'm doing the call to action, I'll be sure to put those up there. Sam, I am so happy that you are on here. I cannot wait to, when we end, to make sure that I get my order in, because like I said, I'm out and I am the salad girl.
Yes, you are.
I am. And now it's time for the call to action. Don't worry, it's in the show notes. So if you don't get it, it's fine. You can go back to the show notes and get it. You can find Sam and Sammy Girls Country Kitchen. You can find them on Instagram and on Facebook. And those are her handles. And make sure after you do your order that you go onto Google. Sammy Girls Country Kitchen is on Google, and you can find her Google site at Sammy Girls Country Kitchen. Leave her all kinds of 5 stars reviews,
Please
because
do. And Diana, I'm not in Whole Foods yet, but that's my goal.
so we can make that happen. All you have to do is just take your bottle in there and let them know this is what you need in your Whole Foods. And consumers drive those types of things.
Definitely.
Getting shelf space. So if you keep saying it, it will happen.
Oh, yes.
So here, this is what I always do to my guests, Sam. I have for final thoughts. What is the one mindset shift? Wait, let's see. Oh, yes, I'm going to ask. Oh, nearest health. Well, thank you, Diane. We appreciate you doing that. What is the one mindset shift that you want to leave with the listening audience when it comes to moving beyond the diagnosis, whatever their diagnosis may be?
Well, for me, the people in my support group think I'm hilarious because honestly, under my shoes, I'm wearing socks right now because I'm in the house, but under my shoes, I write F myeloma. I walk it out of my life every day. And once again, it's in the back seat. It's not on the passenger side. It's in the back. I wake up every day. I journal every day. The first 3 lines of my journal say, what are you thankful for? Every day it's the same 3 things. Waking up, remission, and my family and friends. That's what's on the forefront for me. So cancer is a shock. Sometimes it's depressing. But once you get past all of that and understand that it's not a death sentence, you can live your best life. I'm actually healthier now with cancer than before. Before I was diagnosed, I took blood pressure pills and cholesterol pills, and now I don't.
Wow. That
Yeah,
is amazing. And I love your take on it. And that is something that I think everyone can take away from this. Decide that you're going to live your best life, walk it out, and no matter what the diagnosis is, keep that positive attitude and
yep.
just keep moving forward every day. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for
Thank
joining me.
you.
And I am going to say goodbye to my audience, and I'll be right back with you. Well, there you have it, everyone. You now have the secret sauce for being able to move beyond your diagnosis, whatever that might be. And I do hope that you will visit Sammy's her Instagram, her Facebook, her Google site, and I do hope that you will buy her salad dressing because it is really good. And she's supporting the Multiple Myeloma Foundation because we are going to help her find that cure. You all know where to find me on social media because you're already here supporting me. If you're not following all of my social media platforms, why don't you do that today? And if this episode spoke to you or it could help someone that you know, please be sure to share it with them. My website is here. And if you could use some help in just figuring out how to get that confident mindset, go ahead and book your free clarity call. I'm happy to partner with you and see where we can go with this. And I want you to remember that whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. And remember to join me here next week, same time, same station. Until then, make it a great rest of your week. Goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to Conversations with Coach. Please be sure to follow Coach Christina on all of her social media platforms. And remember, life is only as good as your mindset.